Here with trainer Todd Pletcher. And Todd, when you look at Grande's past performances, only 3 starts. His first 2 races came very easily, got pretty good trips. Sometimes we can learn a lot in defeat. What do you think you or the horse learned last time out in the wood when he lost to Rodriguez?
Well, I think he showed that he belonged with the better 3-year-olds in the division. Had a pretty rough trip around the first turn, had to check off heels, got hung out pretty wide on the elbow. But, he kept closing resolutely, kind of stayed to task to the wire, and, was still gaining on a horse that had a pretty comfortable, easy lead. So, I felt like it proved to us that he's good enough to consider for the Derby.
There's a bit of a dichotomy, I think, with running style in the Derby. There's speed and there's deep closers. Does Grande strike you as a type that could get a mid-pack trip?
That's what we would hope for, and I think it's, as always, it's a jockey's race, but in particular when it appears there could be a fast pace, that's when you got to be really careful, because I think your natural instinct is to want to stay in contention, but if they're going really fast, you want to be within your comfort zone. So, that's why we got John Velasquez on board to sort out, how the pace actually unfolds, and wherever he decides to be, it needs to be where the horse is comfortable.
Mike Rapoli, we talked to him just a moment ago. He was pretty funny. He said, you really, really wanted this matchup between Locked and Fierceness. I sense some sarcasm, but when you have to pivot with a horse that's coming off such a layoff with Fierceness, for example, what kind of goes into that in his preparation?
Really nothing changed in his preparation. I mean, we were preparing to run on Sunday in the Westchester. That's kind of the race we've been pointing for. We have bigger goals down the road, like the Met Mile, hopefully, and who knows, the Whitney, ultimately the Breeders' Cup Classic. But, I just hate to run 2 super high-quality horses against each other this early in the season. But, each, as a public trainer, that's what you have to do. You have to do what, is best for each individual horse and each individual owner. And so that's why we landed on this. And, we'll do the best we can with both of them. Hopefully they both run well and both move forward.
All right. Thank you for the time.
Thanks.